Hey guys, it's Brigitte with San Diego Seed Company, and I am back, baby, for the second time. For those of you who follow us, you know that I was gone for maternity leave for baby one and then for baby two. And now I'm back and it's springtime and it's time to get planting in the garden. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about what you should be planting in Southern California right now. I'm also going to showcase our beautiful baby number two and give you tips and tricks on how you can make the best out of your garden. If you're a busy mom or just busy in general, the crops that are going to do the best and be the easiest to grow so you get a great spring and summer garden. I do the live of us. Hi, welcome to the garden. Well, this is the reason why I've been MIA for a little bit. This here is our baby Elvis. Real name Remy, but he looks like Elvis. So he'll be joining us in the garden from here on out. All right, enough showing off my beautiful baby boy. Let's get into why you clicked on this video. You want to know what to plant right now in springtime in Southern California. Well, I'm here to tell you it's all of your warm season crops. And luckily for you, on the back of every one of our seed packets, it says whether you would plant it for warm season or cool season. So we make it really easy for you. Now, the biggest crops that you're probably thinking about are things like peppers, which you're going to start from seeds using a high quality seed starting mix. You're going to want to plant those in some type of starter pot like this so that you can plant out into the garden. Now, you might be tempted to go buy some pepper plants at the nursery, and you probably can get away with it, but it's still relatively chilly and they're not going to do a lot, and you're going to spend more money. If you plant by seed, you're going to be able to get awesome different varieties that you can have all season long, and you can have them ready to plant out in about 4 to 6 weeks. Now, the same thing can be said of things like your tomatoes. You want to get those started by seeds now too. And if you're thinking, oh my God, I'm late, guess what? Springtime is the most forgiving time in Southern California. You got a long window to get these started. But right about now is the time that you really want to do it so that you get it in the ground at the beginning of spring and you have the longest growing period possible. So tomatoes, you would also start by using high quality seed starting mix and then planting out into the garden. Some of my favorites are cherry tomatoes. You can grow them almost year long. And another really cool crop you want to start now is sunflowers. If we take a look at my garden right now, which full disclosure, I've been on maternity leave. So it's full of weeds. It's a total mess, but there's also tons of beautiful sunflowers that are popping up because they're just volunteers, and some sunflowers that even my toddler planted that are growing beautifully and easily after we've gotten a little bit of this rain. So remember, warm season crops, that's all of your solanaceae, and a lot of your direct seeded crops can be planted now with the magic tool of row cover. If you're not using row cover, you're missing out on one of the best tools that you can use to increase germination and have your seeds germinate all at the same time. What this fabric does is it locks in humidity, which is the number one thing that you need for really good quick germination. And it's also a pro tool because it'll keep out the neighbor's cats. I actually put it down to keep our toddler out of there so he's not pulling up the bean seeds that I just planted. And it just really helps make for a more efficient garden. And we all know that your time is valuable and none of us have enough of it. So use row cover to help increase germination on direct sown seeds. Okay, let's talk about spring flowers. So flowers are something that it really can be very confusing in our climate because we have this very long growing season and you might not be able to totally aware of when you plant what flowers when. Luckily for you, we put a full calendar out that'll tell you month by month what to plant. But I want to showcase my very messy garden to kind of show you what it grows really easily right now with actually kind of no effort. So I'm showing you my garden. Don't judge. Like I said, I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old. It's very messy. But the beautiful thing we can see here is there's a bunch of volunteers of flowers that grow very easily in the springtime. Sage is one of them. This is a total volunteer from previous year. This is our red sage. Really an easy crop to grow. And if you leave it to seed through the fall, you will get this multiple times a year. I promise. In fact, you might be pulling it out like a weed. Sunflowers. All the sunflowers you see here, we didn't plant these. We just let them seed in the fall. Now we got rain and now they're popping up and they're beautiful and very easy to grow and great for pollinators. And let me just address that really quickly. A number one question that we get all the time is, what plants or what flowers should I plant for pollinators? Anything that flowers, a pollinator will love it. Whether it's sunflowers or milkweed or sage, it doesn't matter. As long as it's a flowering crop that's not being sprayed with a pesticide, you're going to do really good things for pollinators because they're going to visit the flowers and move the pollen around, and it's going to help support their population. So sunflowers are a good one. Another really easy one that's one of my favorites is cosmos. All the cosmos you see in this patch are all just volunteers from previous years. We let them seed, they fell onto the ground, and now we got cosmos this year, which is amazing. And lastly, one of the easiest flowers that you can plant is alyssum. So white alyssum in particular is a very heavy reseeding plant, which means you plant it once, it's going to send thousands of seeds into your garden. And as soon as we get rain, or if you have irrigation, these flowers will pop back up and you'll have them season after season after season. Now, with my busy mom routine, these flowers are the type of crops I need in my garden. Okay, so let's talk about garden reset. If you're anything like me and like a lot of people, you may have taken the winter off from gardening because life was crazy and busy. And now it's springtime and you want to start again, and your garden looks like this. Now it's beautiful and there's a lot of really good things going on. In fact, if you look around, I have tons of amazing volunteers. I've got scabiosas and flax and cosmos and so many great crops all mixed in with a bunch of weeds that I don't want. You can see I've got oat grass and all kinds of other stuff, purslane, mallow, all kinds of things I don't want. And a question that we got during one of our classes was, well, what do you do with this situation? It's a little difficult because you have to be ruthless. In fact, I could spend hours out here delicately trying to pull out the crops that I want and I don't want. And really, the better plan is just to actually come in and weed all of this out and start anew. I know that's hard, but the reality of me taking time to get the weeds out and keep the flowers that I want, it's just not going to work. So I'm going to come in and weed all of this so that I can plant my tomatoes and my peppers and my eggplant, my basil. And I want to start with a clean slate. That's really important. At the beginning of the season, if you don't do your work to get the weeds out and start with a clean slate that you can maintain, then you're going to be battling it all summer long, and you're probably going to lose that battle. So that's pro tip number one. The next pro tip I really want to give you is think about watering. So we actually got an inch of rain yesterday, which you would think like, wow, there's a lot of moisture in the soil. Don't be fooled. We dig down and look at this. Just a couple inches down, you can see the color difference between where there's moisture and no moisture. So if you're doing any direct seeding or transplanting, you have to water before, after, during, and several times at planting, because this dry soil is going to suck moisture from your plants, dry them out, and leave you with a very sad, wilty, dead plant in the morning. Okay, so when we're talking about watering, let's really jump into what that means. You have got to water a bunch, a lot, a shit ton, if I'm allowed to say that. That's an actual measurement of how much you should water. A lot, because we don't get enough rain consistently. So I have this bed here that has been rained on, but even still, I'm going to turn on my irrigation. This is part of your springtime garden reset. I'm going to turn on the irrigation and I'm going to run it. I'm going to check and I'm going to make sure that it's running, and I'm going to run it for quite some time to guarantee that when I dig down in here, that there is actually enough moisture deep. I need to have moisture all the way down in here so that when I plant my seeds or when I transplant any plant, that there is moisture available to those roots so they don't dry out at any point. Okay, so this video is meant to be short and sweet to tell you what to plant in the spring in Southern California. And just to recap, you need to be starting seeds of all of your Solanaceae. So that's your peppers, your eggplants, and your tomatoes. Then you need to also think about direct sowing all of your warm season crops like your cucumbers, your squash, your pumpkin, your melons, all of those big seeds, your beans that can go directly into the soil. You can actually start doing that in the next coming weeks, especially if you use row cover. Now, look, I can't teach you how to garden in one quick 8-minute video, but what I can do is give you all the support that we have on our website and on our growing community that can help you. First of all, get yourself a growing calendar that will let you know what to plant when every single month for zone 9 and 10. Join our Growing Together membership so that we can grow together for 12 months, a whole year, and you can become a really good gardener. And check out all of our we have over 1,000 videos on YouTube on what to plant. In fact, if you put in YouTube what to plant in February, which is when this video is being shot, I think I have 3 of them. So please utilize all the educational information we have out there so that you can become a great gardener and so I can spend more time in the garden with my babies and you can spend more time in the garden with your babies.